Yes, I'm a restaurateur since 2001 when I opened my first restaurant, La Posta, in downtown. And then 3 years later, in 2006, I started the catering activity. In that time, there was, as we all know, a big crisis in Lebanon, and so we need to diversify. And so this is how I started our catering activity. Food connoisseur is, well, it's a big word. Yeah, probably more than the average, but still there's always a lot to learn to do this proposal. For the TV, yes, I'm since maybe 9 years, something like that. I'm on TV presenting programs, and a lot of satisfaction there also.
And how did the TV hosting come to be? And how did you start? Where the idea came from?
Well, 10 years ago or 12 years ago, let's say 10 years ago when NTV started again, we were doing a program with NTV, which was a program of cooking with our chefs. And from time to time I was hosted as a guest. And since my interventions were quite, as had been said by some friends, quite interesting because I was talking about some topics, unusual topics, they were really appreciated, and this is how NTV suggested me to come on weekly basis and to present a new program that we called Monsieur Gourmet.
And your latest restaurant is called Lebanese. Why did you choose the name?
It's a good question concerning Lebanese. Since my first restaurant, La Posta, in 2001, we were presenting a Lebanese way of life, even if the specialty were only Italian. However, it was generous, we were welcoming, we were kind, and these are all qualities of the Lebanese people. And so when we opened Lebanese, or Lebanese restaurant, we wanted to call back all this Lebanese way of life with these qualities, and this is how we call it Lebanese, which is from Lebanon, or specialty from Lebanon, and anyhow all the way of life, Lebanese way of life.
And how do you capture the Lebanese way of style in the restaurant? Yeah, how do you depict it?
Well, the Lebanese way of life in the restaurant was not a big effort for us because we always did it. We always tried to be friendly. We were never focusing only on the income or the result, and that was in our genes. So the only thing that changed is that instead of serving Italian food or international food, we served Lebanese, and Lebanese was the right name for our restaurant.
It has been a challenging year for restaurateurs. What are the biggest challenges you faced and how did you overcome them?
Saying that it was a challenging year for the restaurateur is a bit reductive. No, it's more than 15 years that it's challenging for the restaurateur, and not only for the restaurateur, for everyone in this land called Lebanon. We never really overcome the challenges because they are so crazy, so unusual, that when you just be able to face one, you have the following one. All what is obvious and offered in any other country in the world, you have to fight for it. So the challenge is not how to survive in the restaurant activity. The challenge is to make this little piece of land called Lebanon, to make it a real country, free country, independent country. And if you want to talk only about business, it's a nonsense. We start by doing the country, and then we can talk about business and about business challenges.
Do you have any expansion plans?
I wouldn't call it expansion. I would say I have new projects to growth, and I'm working actually on a fantastic and challenging, a really challenging project in the USA.
Okay. Are you considering franchising?
Well, as a former board member, then treasurer, and then vice president of the Lebanese Franchise Association, I cannot neglect the importance of the franchise business and model in our activity, in our business. However, I think that time now is to do something else, different than franchise. It doesn't mean that I'm not interested by the franchise model. However, I think, and also because of the situation of Lebanon and the brand image of Lebanon, I think we can do different, we can do better, and we do something other than franchise.
Okay, tell us more about your catering business, Fleur de Lis.
Well, Fleur de Lis started not directly in 2006 when we started our catering. Initially it wasn't called Fleur de Lis, it was La Posta Traiteur. Then a few years later, 3 years later, it became Fleur de Lis. Fleur de Lis is a summary of all what we know, all what we do, and all the different cooking and cuisine. It's our way of presenting and offering and serving food from different countries and origin, but still it's in the same DNA that we have in our company, which means generosity and quality and creation, imagination. So I love Fleur de Lis.
And what is your culinary philosophy?
My philosophy is always based on quality, and this is the most important thing for me, it's quality. And sometimes it's being understood perfectly, sometimes it's being presented as too much innovative. However, for me, innovation and quality are two